Hello, St. Anselm's. We're here to answer your questions, and thanks for sending them in. And first, we're going to introduce ourselves, so we'll start from here. Okay.
Hi, I'm Anthony Rodriguez. I played one of the storytellers in Children of Eden,
Good,
and I'm also in grade 12.
Hi, I'm Davide. I was the father, and I'm in grade 10.
Why is that funny to say you're God?
He's in grade 10.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
Anthony?
Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm in grade 12 and I played Adam in the show.
I'm Andrew. I'm in grade 12, and I played Kane.
I'm Daniel. I'm in grade 12 and I was the stage manager for the show.
I'm Hugh. I'm in grade 12 and I was the assistant stage manager.
I'm Jake. I'm in grade 12 and I was the percussionist.
The what?
The percussionist.
In the orchestra. Good. Daniel, could you just tell us what a stage manager is?
Well, at least for our productions at school, I keep track of everything, every sudden change, every light change, every piece of equipment that has to be moved. I follow along with the script every night, and I have little notes in my notebook that tell me when things have to happen, and it's my job to warn everyone when stuff has to be moved.
Perfect. So the first question was, a play with so many moving parts, how many cast members, backstage crew were necessary to be able to produce the performance? So there was you two, and how many others? And what did they do?
Backstage, there was less because a bunch of us were in the booth. But backstage, I think we had about 6 to 7 guys helping move sets and props.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of like the scene changes were kind of like the actors like helped out. Like there was one scene where we had like the tree and like the actors all grabbed a piece of wood from it and took it off stage. So
Right.
they helped out with that as well.
Good. And what about up in the booth?
Up in the booth was myself, our lighting operator, our sound operators, and 2 follow spots, which are just spotlights.
Good. Okay. What about the orchestra? How many people were down there?
I think there was 12 or 13 people.
Okay. And do you guys know how many we had in our cast?
42.
42.
42? No.
I have no idea.
I think we-
just threw a number out there.
It was like
Sticks.
30-something.
Yeah, we had about
somewhere in the
35.
35.
Yeah, and that's right. And everyone works together, right? All right. So this is a question more for the actors. The question is, what are some of the methods for remembering all the choreography, lyrics, and lines? So you had lots to remember. How did you do it?
You had the most, I think. Actually, you had the most.
Yeah, no, these two really.
Well, for the longest time, like in rehearsals, it was just kind of just reading them off. But and then I set aside like a couple of days where I specifically just like sit myself in a room and just run over every single thing I had to say, just like really quickly, just to like really ingrain it in there. By that at a point, it was just in my head, and I didn't really have to think all that much about what I had to do next or anything like that.
And it's also helped out by the fact that a lot of the time in the scenes, it sort of flows in a conversation. So you don't have to memorize each individual line. They all just follow as the scene plays out.
Right. You think, what would I say next?
Yeah,
Then,
it's
yeah.
not like, oh, what's this completely separate and like completely unrelated line. It all flows in conversation. So it's not as hard as it seems.
Great. Okay. During the performance, the audience will never realize if a mistake is made. However, were there any points during the performance where a mistake was made? And there's a second part to the question, and the actor and actress just continued to roll with it. So I guess it's really asking you, was there ever a mistake, and what did you do, and how did you cover it? And
Yeah, there were certain times where in Generations, specifically, I would mess up on some of the dance moves, but I just continued like it's supposed to be like a party kind of vibe going on in that scene, so it was like I just continued like it was just normal, like just continue dancing, whatever.
yeah, as long as you look like you know what
It
you're
looks
doing.
like I knew I was doing
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. Anyone else?
A few times during the last in Children of Eden, the number, like me and Adrian kind of slipped because we had to quickly just run down the stairs to get to this group in the middle. So a few times we kind of pratfalled a little bit, and but we just covered it and helped each other out, so it didn't
Right.
look too horrible.
Good.
We had spots where the orchestra stopped.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A few times the orchestra stopped playing, so you just have to keep on singing and hope for the best.
What does a mistake look like down in the orchestra? What happens?
Sometimes someone hits a wrong note and then the whole thing sounds off. You're playing the wrong key and the singers are off, or it'd be a conducting error sometimes and counting the wrong time signature, and the whole band has to try and.
Mr. Douglas made a mistake?
No, never. Not never. No, it was the other guy.
Of course not.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, having a kissing scene in the play, hee hee. How do the actors mentally prepare and rehearse for that?
Really?
Do
when
you? What do you do?
You don't really. You just make it into some like you make it into any other scene, I guess. You just take that kiss and you just pretend like, oh, that's just like, in this scene I have to walk around and interact with these people, and in this scene I have to do these kinds of interaction with these characters. Like it really, you turn it into any other kind of scene.
And
You
you're
don't
lucky
make
it's
it
the
special.
same person as Laura.
Yeah,
from
like
Oklahoma.
I was already
So you're friends.
sort of
Very
I was already friends with her. I'm comfortable with her, so it's not. We know how to make it not awkward.
Yeah, just part of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no one else had to kiss anyone, just Anthony.
Not that I know.
Well,
of.
that's
Not that I know of.
All right. Oh, this is maybe one of you knows the answer. It was for Noah's wife. I don't know if they saw Michelle or Bobby, but it says, did they have any aspirations of continuing in musical theater? Do we know if Bobby or
Michelle,
Michelle?
I know Michelle. She wants to keep on singing. I don't know if she
Yeah.
wants to continue in musical theater.
And
Yeah.
same with Bobby. She wants to pursue it as like a hobby throughout her life for sure, but she mainly wants to get into like medicine or surgery.
Interesting.
Nothing musical theater related.
Good. Okay, next one was, I guess this is more for us. How do you create a set that allows for the story to be portrayed with different scenes and timelines? Do you have an
We
answer?
talked about it, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
We talked about it.
for the. Wait, what's the question?
How do you create a set? Actually, it's a great question.
Yeah.
That allows for the story to be portrayed with different scenes and timelines.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting actually. Like for example, the tree, like there was the parts like the wood. We were able to take it apart and then make it into the arc and for Act 2, which was a pretty cool concept, very original.
Also, I guess having a really simple and adaptable set
Mm-hmm.
helps to contribute with that, so that a lot of the changes can be made through lighting or just adding specific elements to really denote a specific change or something like that.
Also, costume changes. For example, when the scenes were taking place in Eden, all of the storytellers had like bright and loud costumes on, and then when it switched over to Wasteland, to like the Wasteland setting, they all switched into like darker and more basic costumes. So
Yeah.
that sort of really simplifies the change as well.
Good. Good. What are some of the strategies you have for dealing with stage fright and nervousness?
Don't join the cast.
You don't look
Stay
at
behind the scenes.
You don't look at the audience at
Look
all.
above the
You look at the
audience.
You look
booth.
above.
Yeah,
I
look at
look
the
at you.
booth.
I look at the booth a lot.
Yeah.
A dance.
You do.
Usually, if you're about to go on stage and you're suddenly getting really nervous, just like deep breathing helps a lot.
Or drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Something to like distract from the fact that you're about to go on stage.
Yes. Okay. Were there any setbacks producing the play? If so, what were they? That was
Changing in choreography quite a bit.
yeah.
Correct.
Like, there's
There's
a
also that issue with Brady and Georgia, who were choreographers in past years. They weren't able to do much this year considering they were on contract with other shows. So they were in rehearsals for less time. But fortunately, we got Patrick, another director for this production, who was able to help out.
Good. All right. I skipped one. Question for God. What does it feel like to be involved directly and indirectly in the play for every storyline and timeline? So basically, what does it feel like to be there the whole time? And maybe you could explain why it's important that you were there the whole time.
Just first of all, it was pretty exhausting
Yeah.
because, like for the first half, it's really like rapid fire because you're all constantly doing something, and then for kind of the second half, you've done all this stuff, but you still have to be there, just kind of standing there. My legs got really tired, but no, I thought it was necessary to the kind of the whole message of the show, and it's of course it's a religious show, right? So the whole presence of God constantly being there, even when he's silent, is kind of an important message that's necessary for the sort of meaning of the show, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that he's always there
Yeah.
watching, right? And he chooses the moments to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess, sorry, I'm behind the camera and I'm talking. There were the moments where Noah especially was like reaching out for God, and we could see you there clearly making a decision that it wasn't the time yet, right? Yeah. Okay, good. As a performer, how do you balance your time between schoolwork and rehearsal schedules? And that goes for you guys, stage crew and orchestra too, because
Every minute you have, just free time, just work time.
Yeah.
Staying up late after rehearsals.
Take it easy.
Getting home from an
I mean, going to bed at 10 o'clock p.m. All full 8 hours rest.
You totally do that.
okay, so you struggle to, but you do it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We figure it out.
And then this one's for you, Andrew. It said, having played Judd last year, what were some of the similarities between Kane and Judd, and how did you prepare for each role differently?
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of similarities, but I guess there's some. They're
Murders.
detached and they try. Well, yeah, one tries to murder, attempted murder, and the other one actually is successful. But I find getting into a character, the best thing to do is finding a voice or changing your voice a little bit for both roles. Like Judd, I kind of went down to a very deep southern deep accent, and then for Lost in the Wilderness, I kind of gave it this little bit of this grindy voice or this rock voice, which kind of helped get into a kind of a teenager feel rather than a older creepy gentleman. Yeah, that's kind of the way. Just first finding the voice, and from that you can get mannerisms with the characters. But yeah, it's not. I'm not a method actor, so it wasn't too difficult.
Okay, good. That was it, I think, for the questions. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with them, guys?
Join the musical next year.
Yeah, that's good.
We need more people. We're all graduating.
Yeah, we're all good.
well,
Except Davide.
Except for Davide.
Except for
Okay.
me.
Good. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Yeah. Okay.